Alright, here's another thing I can show you. This is that editor again. I'm going to make a few spaces here. And this syntax writer will run along with that. Now, first of all, let's create an internet object. And then let's navigate to a page. And then always wait for the page to load. And then I'll come down here and put in that pwb.quit and then the parentheses. Now, let's change this address to something a little bit different. Riddles and jokes. And let's put a message box right here that'll pause the script before it closes it. Alright. Now, we run it. Now I've got to give it a name. Well, I'll call it J for now. Alright, it opens up this little website that does these little random jokes, random riddles things. And every time you open it, it does a different one. Do another one. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture this every time and make Denise read it. So what we got to do is open up this little WB Learner thing and come down here and see what that tag is. That's div12. Alright, so we can go right here, we'll hit control, and we'll get from page this tag name array, div12. So right in here we just put div, and over here we just make this a 12. And over here we want the inner text. So we're going to do it here and say inner text. And then that's going to take that tag and return it into this variable. So we want to see what's in that variable. So we'll go down here and display what that variable is. Now if we run it, I'll just close this. It's going to bring back that tag in this message box. Alright, now let's make that instance no longer visible. We'll make it a hidden window. And when we do that, of course, we have to add the old detect hidden windows. Whose parameter we're going to set to on. There we go. Now, it should just return the message box with the joke in it, or story, or whatever. This one's pretty long. I'll say okay, try another one. Alright, so this is something we can feed to Denise, but there's going to be some letters and characters in here eventually that Denise cannot read. I'm just trying to get to one of them right now. Yep. Quite a few of them. Here's one. This one, it says 1 period. This is actually number 1. This would be number 2. So I would change these in the text. In fact, I sat here and listened to these lame jokes for a long time, and I found a whole bunch of them to replace that makes Denise sound more natural. I'm going to show an example right here. We'll start another script, and we'll take this template right here, edit it, and just copy everything that's in it. And paste it over here. Now, if I put up here, and I'm going to set a value for the var that she's going to speak, I'll say var equals we are and then the pound sign, number 1. Now, if I make her say this, it's going to sound like this. Well, we got to give it a name. Okay.
We are.
Just we are. Okay, so to correct that, what we would have to use is string replace, because we want to replace something in that string. So that's right here. And we're going to replace that pound sign with the word number. So we would say, comma, comma, and then right here we would want the pound sign, and then comma, and then whatever it is we want to replace it with. Number. Alright, now we can just instantly run it.
We are number 1.
And see it how it corrected that. Now let's say if I wanted to change a little aspect of it, I could say comma number. Anytime you use a punctuation that's normally part of the syntax, you have to escape it. This applies to several other characters as well. So now listen to it.
We are number 1.
You notice the pause before she said number. So anyway, that's a little thing. That's how you replace the little things inside there that make her sound more natural. So let's go ahead and just copy all of this. And we'll add that to the existing one over here. And let's put this way down here, because I want it after this PWB quit, because we instantly will start another one right here. Now, for right now, she's going to speak everything that comes back after I click the message box. Let's give it a try.
A snail goes into a bar and orders a beer. The barman says sorry, we don't serve snails, and throws him out. A couple of weeks later, the snail goes into the bar again and says, "What did you do that for?" Apostrophe.
Alright, now as I said about changing things in the speech, I went through and listened to all these, and I found quite a few of them to correct. And these are the ones that I did so far. It pretty much covers everything that I ever saw show up. So I'm just going to copy that and put that in here too. And these are things like when she would say 911, she would say 911 instead of 911. So I changed that to that. When she says, when M and M comes up, she would just say mm. So I put M and M so she says it correctly. There's a bunch of these things. She would say record, and I needed record. And she would say, well, there's bunches of them down here. But anyway, now all we have to do is compile it, because I'm going to show you a way to activate it that's very simple. So what I do is I just take all this, and you know what, before we do that, I want to get rid of this message box. We don't need that in there anymore. Alright, I'm just going to take all this again and just copy all this. Into a new AutoHotkey script. And close it and save it. And then we can just close all this other stuff up. Now it's a good idea to rename this something. So for right now I'm just going to call it J. Now I'm going to play it once.
Did you hear about the two blood corpuscles named Romeo and Juliet? They loved in vain.
So now we want to compile this. So what we do is I'll go to my little AutoHotkey. By the way, AutoHotkey has a perfect or a fantastic help file with every script, everything that AutoHotkey can do. There's like over 1,000, and each one of them is a, a help menu with complete with examples and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and compile that for a moment. And we go here. And we pick the file that we need, and that's J, of course. And then we're going to pick where we want it to go and what we want to call it. It's going to go on the desktop, and we'll just leave it j.exe. This is just an example. Alright, we'll save that, and let's pick an icon for it. You can get icons off the web for free. Just make sure that they have .ico as the file extension, or they won't work. And we convert it, and we're done. Now, let's say this is our script. We can take this one and delete it now. Don't need that anymore. And let's say I put it inside of a folder. Anywhere, any folder. So I just put it in my little speak folder for right now. What we want to do is we'd go here to our CM browser. This is part of Dragon, and we want to create a new command. And we'll call it wake up.
I can hear you.
Say something funny. Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
Alright, well, we can go down here and go into the advanced scripting, and right in here between sub main and end sub, all we have to do is say app bring up with a space and a quote, and then we go to the file that we want to open. And this works with any program on your computer, and I want to know what that path is right there. So I just do properties on it, and I see that it's this, copy, and so I just paste that right there, and I know it needs another backslash there, and it's going to be the name of it right here. I can just type that in as j.e. Oops, xe. Proved myself wrong. All right. So, and then we need one more close quote mark, and I'd say that should do it. We hit save, and we can close that, and we can close that, and we can close this. Now we can bring this up here. Wake up.
I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Say something funny.
Once, there were 3 guys stranded on an island, and the mainland was 100 miles away. The first guy swam 25 miles, and drowned. The second guy swam 50 miles, and drowned. The third guy swam 99 miles, and said, I'm tired. I think I'll swim back.
Go to sleep.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
And there you have it, something else to play with. These 3 tools right here, I'll put in a folder. These 3 right here, it's the template, the syntax writer, and that little learner thing. This program is available on the web. If you just look at my previous video, it shows it on the web. And AutoHotkey, of course, you know where that's from. So I'll put a link to these 3 things right here in case anybody wants those. Thank you.